doesn't like a good story? Welcome to Pathways of Hope. Hi, I am Lorna Campos. What if you had to tell your life story in just 4 personal anecdotes? What to choose? Or if you had to introduce a person, a friend of yours, and say, just tell one story. All the stories, what to pick? I guess one would determine theme, audience, purpose, impact. I love stories, especially at bedtime, and I turn to my husband and say, wake up, wake up. Tell me a story first. Tell me a story from your youth, but not something I've heard already, and don't invent. Today we read John 21:25. There are also many other things that Jesus did. But if these were to be described individually, I do not think the whole world would contain the books that would be written. Upon reading this, I wondered, if there were so many stories about Jesus and what he had done, how did John pick the stories for his gospel? What was his process to select, to edit, delete, write, rewrite, repeat process? Take note, no copy, cut, and paste, no computers then. Why then did John write his gospel? He himself tells us. In John 20:31, these are written that you may come to believe that Jesus is the Messiah, the Son of God, and that through this belief you may have life in his name. So I ask myself, at the end of his gospel, what can I learn from his stories about what to believe in Jesus? We read, Peter turned and saw the disciple following whom Jesus loved, the one who had also reclined upon his chest during the supper, and had said, Master, who is the one who will betray you? When Peter saw him, he said to Jesus, Lord, what about him? This tells me 2 things. Jesus calls the imperfect, and Jesus' love is personal. In this context, Peter had just declared with such certainty, Lord, I love you 3 times. And in his next breath, Peter turns around and says, what about him? You know, Peter's being a busybody. Or in the vernacular, naghahanap ng kadamay. He's looking for someone to share his burden. Like, papasa na, right away, passing. Secondly, Jesus' love is personal. To recline, put your head rested on somebody or sit nearby. That symbolizes a relationship that is personal, a friendship wherein one feels loved and secure. And the disciple whom Jesus loved had this kind of personal relationship. Have you ever wondered why John, in his own gospel, does not refer to himself by name? I believe it's because John knew his identity, and John invites us to identify with him. John is so secure, so confident in this personal love. He calls himself the Beloved. To identify with, John does not name himself because he wants us to identify with this phrase, the disciple whom Jesus loved. We are loved in this same way. He wants us to experience that, to identify with that. He calls us as well to testify. So many stories can be told about Jesus then and now. So many stories that involve you and I. Imagine if you wrote a gospel, the good news according to, and put in your name. The gospel according to Angel. The gospel according to Michelle. The gospel according to Harvey. You might say, so many things to write about, what to pick. Or others might say, my life? Nothing dramatic. Or we might think, I am unworthy. I have sinned. I shouldn't write a gospel. But you know, you can. I can. We all can write our own gospels. Because the main character, the star of the gospel, is Jesus. What he has done. Let's write about how we have encountered him. Let's write about his words and truths that we live by. Let's write about how we have seen his transforming and saving action in our lives and in the lives of others. Let us tell stories about Jesus that others too may believe in him and have fullness of life.
God is in this
God bless.
God is in the details, even in the broken parts. He holds my heart. He never fails. God is in my story.
Right here